This is a brief introduction to the HCG diet, as featured in the HCG Diet Quick Start Cookbook. I'm Ann Wolfinger. HCG stands for the human chorionic gonadotrophin hormone, which is why everyone says HCG. The HCG diet was developed in the 1950s by a British endocrinologist after extensive studies on obesity. These studies led the endocrinologist Dr. Simeons to develop the HCG diet. During the diet, you are taking the HCG hormone in conjunction with a strict, very low-calorie diet. But I'm getting ahead of myself here because there are 3 phases to the diet, and the first phase is the loading phase. This lasts the first 2 days you start taking your HCG. Believe it or not, during the loading phase, you try to build up your normal fat stores by consuming as much fat as you can. I kid you not. I thought I had died and gone to heaven, in fact. But when this is done well, it reduces any hunger you might feel when you enter the next phase. Phase 2 is the very low calorie diet phase, VLCD. You're on a very limited 500 calorie diet with certain food restrictions as well. This phase typically lasts 3 to 5 weeks, followed by Phase 3, which is called the maintenance phase. This is a critical time in the diet because it helps your body stabilize itself at the new weight. Yes, you get to eat more, and it feels wonderful to eat more after Phase 2, but you are also restricted somewhat in your food choices as well. Let's talk about your food choices, or lack of choices maybe, in the Phase 2, the very low calorie phase. Here's the drill. No breakfast, only tea or coffee. The only sweetener allowed on HCG is stevia, a natural no-calorie sweetener. Lunch is 4 ounces of some meats, 1 type of vegetable only from a certain list of vegetables, 1 breadstick called a grissino or 1 Melba toast, and 1 serving of fruit. It's basically the same choice for dinner. The only thing with dinner is that you can't just repeat your lunch. If you had chicken for lunch, you should have a different protein choice for dinner. Same for the vegetables and fruit. So there is some variety in the diet, but if you're planning it yourself, you will find 500 calories gets used up very quickly. Let's look at some of the menus for a typical week on Phase 2. A big key to success on the HCG diet is planning. Planning to be sure that you have the right food choices made each day and they don't exceed 500 calories. So here's what a week would look like when you're eating meals that consist of chicken, beef, and vegetarian. Breakfast is the same every day, coffee, tea, or water. Lunch on the first day here is cream of fennel soup. Your protein is cottage cheese and then 1 breadstick or Melba toast. Your dinner is a steak-based dinner with lettuce, and then snack is strawberries and a limited number of strawberries and your breadstick. The next day, again, ditto for breakfast, coffee, tea, or water. This time it's a vegetarian egg dish, easy onion frittata, with the Melba toast. So you can see we have steak here and we have egg here. Chicken is for dinner with a wrapped up chicken fajita with lettuce, and then the snack is grapefruit. The third day then, we can repeat a meal or two. We can repeat the steak because the day before we had chicken. And then for dinner, we can have the onion again. One of my intentions in the HCG Diet Quick Start Cookbook was to provide for or plan for healthy leftovers, which is my favorite form of fast food, which is why you see some of these repeated. But again, the trick really with the HCG diet is to plan your meals accordingly so you can mix and match them and still stay within the 500 calories each week. I've jumped ahead here to show you some menus now from phase 3 of the diet. Phase 2, yes, it's a challenge. It's only 3 weeks at the ideal amount of time, and you always have phase 3 to look forward to. Plus, you get to see the weight coming off in phase 2. But let's take a look at phase 3 in comparison. Now you get to have breakfast, still kind of a limited breakfast. No eggs, hash browns, and toast, but a 2-egg omelet with spinach, and of course your coffee, a mid-morning snack, something simple like sugar-free yogurt, grilled turkey burger with now you get different vegetables or combined vegetables, tomato and onions, a snack of a little bit of protein and a fruit, and a little more variety and quantity for your evening meal. Again, you can have poached eggs with turkey sausage this time, 2 proteins combined in the morning. But again, notice we're not having any starches. We're not having potatoes. We're not having bread. And there's no sugar involved also. The coconut macaroon recipe here is probably made with either stevia or agave syrup, which either of those are acceptable sweeteners. So after the phase 2 very low calorie phase, you could see how this would feel like a treat. So this gives you an example or an idea of what being on the HCG diet is like. If you think this diet is right for you, give it a try by all means. For more information on the diet, click on the link below in the description.